This is Evenings with Jason Chong
on ABC Radio across SA, NT and Broken Hill.
We have a very special guest on this week's episode, and he wants to talk about old TV ads, so he's going to fit right in, I think.
Retro Ordinaire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Retro Ordinaire. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello, as always, Scott John.
Hello, Chongy. How you doing, matey?
Good to have you back here. How's your whole well-being?
My whole well-being is all right. I'm in pain. I'm pumped up on painkillers and I'm doing okay.
You might want to reread that label, I think. That's very high energy.
They changed my painkillers today, but I'm doing all right.
Okay.
I'm about a week from a decision on whether I get back surgery or not. Yeah. So exciting times in my world.
Can't wait to hear when we'll do a live cross.
Let's do that. It could be risky.
Right, also tonight, we have TV writer for shows like Sean McCullers, Mad as Hell, Good Afternoon Adelaide, and the man who used to do the laundry at the Chandler's Hill Surgery, David M. Green. Hello.
That's me, yeah. That's my most famous role.
Yes. I went to your website today, and that is literally the bottom thing on your CV list of things that you've done.
It was my first job.
Yeah.
Ironing sheets.
Okay, for a surgery. So for the beds?
Yeah. So my mum's a doctor, so it was the one that she worked at, and she got me the contract. So yeah, all the in the examination rooms.
Pure nepotism.
They changed exactly. Yeah. They changed the sheets, after every patient.
Yeah. They always look so well ironed. The pressure must be on.
Yeah. I don't think I did a particularly good job.
Do you iron your sheets at home now?
I sure don't.
Okay, good. Good.
Your jacket doesn't look particularly well ironed, and that's not a criticism. It's just it sounded like a criticism, didn't it? I don't mean to offend, but it's fine. I don't know why I said that. See, it's the painkillers.
It's the
I'm blaming the
painkillers.
painkillers.
I understand.
I feel like the instructions might have been written in metric there, buddy. So we are here today to talk about old TV ads, which I think we're all a fan of. But David, you're more of a fan than all of us. You host a show just on old VHSs.
I do.
Tell us about this. This is excellent. It sounds like such a fantastic use of someone's time.
Yeah.
No, again, that sounded sarcastic, but I really
We're
enjoyed
not doing very well, are we?
No.
Is this why we don't often have guests?
Yeah.
Well, it's a show called VHS Revue.
Yes.
Where I review VHS tapes people have used. You remember these things? You used to use them to tape stuff off TV that you wanted to watch again.
You could turn a 3-hour into a 6-hour if you had long play.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of these tapes are just lying around, and they've got old TV recordings on them from 20, 30, 40. I'm looking at one that's almost 50 years old from the 70s. And the most interesting thing usually is not the program or the movie, it's the stuff in the commercial breaks.
Absolutely.
So, some real bizarre stuff I've found.
All right. Well, do you take submissions from people if they've got an old tape lying around? Would you...
Yes, a lot of people have sent in tapes for me to look at. I've sort of had to say I've got enough at the moment because my neighbour gave me 500 tapes. So I only said yes because he literally lives next door, and he says, I'll wheel them over. And he was wheeling back and forth for about 15 minutes. And now they're in my grade.
So addicted to videoing. Why did he have 500 tapes?
Is it Tony Martin?
No, I don't live next door to Tony Martin. But he was just one of those people who just taped stuff off TV.
Everything.
And kept a really good kind of catalogue, like a book with numbers and stuff. And like this movie is on tape number 305.
Yeah.
And he was, they were clearing out their garage, and he knew that I did this thing. He said, do you want them? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take them off your hands for you. And so it takes me, like this year, I'm looking at 10. So it takes a long time to look through them and find the funny stuff and make jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
So at this rate, I should go through the 500 in about 30 years.
Okay.
So there's quite a few episodes there on your YouTube channel. How many episodes are you up to of VHS Revue?
The episode 57 comes out on Sunday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what's on episode 57?
57. It's actually got some ABC footage on it.
Beauty.
So most of the stuff I look at is the commercial stations, because ABC's no ads, so it's not that interesting. But I did find a tape. It's from the early 80s. It's weirdly, this person taped the ABC test pattern for an hour.
Right.
Because this is what the ABC used to put on TV in the early 80s in the middle of the day. They would have, your kids' shows in the morning, and then you'd have maybe the morning news, like 11 o'clock, and then it would be the test pattern for an hour and a half with some music playing, and then it'd be Sesame Street.
Yeah. Well, they weren't competing with Spotify. It was just, TV. What was there, 4 or 5 channels?
Yeah, or 4 back then in Adelaide.
Yeah.
We didn't get SBS till 1985, so there would have only been 4 stations. But then you had radio stations as well.
Yeah.
But I guess it was probably all AM back then, so the quality wasn't as good as broadcasting it on TV.
That's right.
So I guess this person, whatever album, I think it's like a Brian Eno album that they're playing underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
He's recorded all of that. And then after that, it's a bit of Channel 9. There's a Nazi movie called Inside the Third Reich. So that's quite funny with the ads that are in that.
Oh, yes.
Yes, very topical. So that's it's quite strange. There's this breaker with a little sweeper thing that they play going into the ad break, which has got Inside the Third Reich, and it's got a bunch of Nazis saying Sieg Heil. And then it goes into an ad for like Dustbuster and Mother's Day gift ideas. It's a very strange juxtaposition.
My favourite episode is the one you did on the Comedy Company, and it's got an excerpt from the Hey Hey It's Saturday. What did they call it? They did a parody.
Ho hum, it's Saturday.
Oh, it's so good. Ho hum, it's Saturday. And
that's a brutal sketch, isn't it?
They just keep firing off those sound effects. Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Comedy Company was quality.
Yeah, so that was like a best of the Comedy Company.
Right.
So there was a show called The Comedy Company, sketch show in the 80s. In the early 2000s, they did here are the best bits of the Comedy Company. And that's what I taped. I taped that myself.
Yeah.
And that was the only, because this is before YouTube. If you wanted to watch something like that, you had to watch on TV and tape it. And now, 20 years later, I'm going through that, looking at the best ads. It's very strange, really.
What a life. So you brought in some of your favourites. This first one features Olympian Glynis Nunn from 1993.
Yeah.
Scotty, I want you to see if you can guess what this is for. And just sing out whenever you want. Yeah.
Adelaide's always been a special place to me, and one of the best things about Adelaide is Sizzler. Great fresh
Sizzler?
food,
Yes.
great variety, and now it's even better. New steaks, new salads, delicious pastas and yummy desserts. And just save money too. The Sizzler all-you-can-eat soup, salad, pasta and dessert bar is now only $9.95 for dinner and $7.95 for lunch. For value and variety, Adelaide, it's got to be a winner.
I must say that was the easiest quiz I've ever done.
I mean, you ran out of time. It was a timed quiz.
Oh,
Before
I
they say the name of the business, that is your time to shine. Yeah, all those things that she mentioned, none of them with the bread.
No.
Which is
The cheese toast, I think.
cheese toast, sorry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, one of the best things about Adelaide is Sizzler.
Yeah.
Was that all we had going for us back then? Did we have the Grand Prix in the early 90s?
We
Yeah.
did. We had
Festival.
Puzzle Park.
And,
Yeah.
didn't everyone else also have Sizzler?
I'm pretty sure it was outside the state as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Is there? Somebody told me there's still an existing Sizzler somewhere in Queensland. Is that right, or is that gone now?
It may have recently closed.
oh.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But
Shame.
so this is obscure. Do you remember when there were Sizzlers around here, and then they got bought out by a company called Bell's.
Yeah.
And then they all rebranded as Bell's for about a month.
Yes.
And then they went out of business.
Lone
then
Star?
Lone
And
Star.
yeah, they all turned into other things. There was a Lone Star Steakhouse.
When it was Lone Star,
yeah.
the ground was covered in peanut, the
Yeah.
wrappings of peanuts. And I remember everybody was slipping over. It was a health hazard. And they probably were shut down for that reason, I
Yeah,
imagine.
instead of having like complimentary bread, you'd get a little bowl of peanuts, but you'd have to
Peanuts.
shell them yourself.
Yeah.
And
Just
the
throw it
idea
on the
was that you
ground.
were supposed to throw it on the ground.
Yes.
But then, yeah, all the staff started suing, I guess, for all the knee injuries. One of your TikTok followers says hello, Yvette. They would like to know, do you happen to have an episode with the clock which used to count down to the next TV show and always played the Australian Motors Great Great Guys jingle?
Yeah, I love that.
I do have an episode that it features that clip. Yeah, that was another thing the ABC used to like putting on the screen, the clock.
Yeah.
And it would tick down, and the voiceover guy would say what was coming up next. And sometimes they'd have a little, almost like a radio ad that would play over the top of it,
Right.
on the commercial stations. So one of the episodes has got that in there. It's from the early '80s. It might be an ad for Sigma.
Okay.
What was that? Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
The Mitsubishi Sigma. They made them here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the Australian Motors, great guys.
Oh, some good jingles.
That was
That's
their
it.
slogan, great guys.
Here's one with a pretty good jingle.
Oh, dear.
I'm not going to play all of this
Oh, yeah. Please don't.
because, yeah. But there was a time where this guy was making money off this ad.
Is this Mr. Bankrupt?
Yeah. And then I guess what happened to him.
You've turned that right down.
Yeah. I can't. I physically cannot turn it any lower. It's still annoying.
I remember all my friends at school, we all used to do impressions of the Mr. Bankrupt ads at school. You imagine 20 kids all doing that voice at the same time.
Apparently it worked. Apparently there was a marketing company that would just write these ads. I mean, I don't know how much writing goes into that, but and they would produce them really cheap and they were really effective.
Right.
It worked, so he did go bankrupt.
Eventually, yes. Hope so.
Or is he living on an island somewhere with his feet up?
Yeah. With the Cunningham's Warehouse guy. We've got a lot of votes or suggestions for Cunningham's Warehouse. Where do you get it? That's Cunningham's
There's
Warehouse.
actually a VHS Revue episode about the history of Cunningham's Warehouse, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Ooh.
I found quite a lot of Cunno's ads.
Because I love the ones like from back in the day when they were the band on the haystacks.
Oh, yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah.
With the jingle. I've been down to Cunningham's Warehouse, yes sirree.
And was there only one in Highbury at that point? Was that the idea? Cunningham's Warehouse, Highbury. Yeah.
And then it changed to Yesery when they opened more
Ah.
stores. Yeah. I think did it start with a puppet?
Yeah, there was a puppet
there was a
version as
puppet,
well.
yeah.
Puppet? Yeah.
And then
then-
that bloke.
That bloke.
And then a guy that looks similar to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the guy, the famous $2, with the little
Yeah.
finger gesture, there was a guy called Jeff Winter.
Okay.
And he did it for a few years. And then he had a horrible accident where his car got hit by a truck. And he survived, but he stopped doing the ads. And another guy came and started doing the $2 finger gesture.
I thought that was an urban legend.
No.
They was in a car accident. Okay, right.
No, I talk about it in the one of the VHS reviews.
I love that you've done your research. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Do you remember that guy, Jeff Winters, also used to be the lounge discounters dude in the 80s, and he used to have massive hands, and he'd go, freebie time, and wear a false moustache?
No, I remember the which account, a dis account. Do you remember that guy?
Racist.
Well, it was back in the day, I guess.
That was lounge discounters as well, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the same company, the same business, but over time, different people doing the ads.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Once the dis account guy got cancelled, Gail wanted us to mention the dis account furniture guy.
Oh, there you go.
Dean Davies, apparently. I'm getting told in my ear. Who were the lumberjacks who cut the pine for White House furniture every time? That's from Wendy and Mylor.
I know that ad.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Weirdly, that ad, they have a jingle, and it's basically a rip-off of the Monty Python's Lumberjack song.
Yeah.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day.
Yeah.
Maybe not like that, but their jingle was like,
It's fine pine furniture.
yeah,
That
I
one.
don't know. It's something. It's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same tune, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
is
don't know if they got clearance for that.
I don't know whether
I
this
can't
is in an
imagine.
episode, but I've got to fire this one off.
Okay.
Let's have a listen.
Noel's caravans, Noel's caravans.
Is this covered?
Noel's caravans.
Okay, I think we get the
Yeah,
point.
you get the point.
Was Noel's what?
Caravans.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
said it 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that still plays, I feel like.
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
think
I've
so.
heard that pretty recently.
Is he still around?
Noel. I'm not sure.
I don't know, it could be son of Noel's Caravans, I'm not sure.
That reminds me of another place. There was an ad for it's called Bernard and Karen Brown Furniture.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And their jingle was Bernard and Karen Brown Furniture near the great big palm tree.
Oh, yeah.
Now I was driving here up South Road. All of those buildings along the western side have been raised because
Yes.
they're going to build the tunnel there. There is still a massive palm tree just sitting there. That's the palm tree where
That's the palm
Bernard
tree.
and Karen Brown furniture used to be.
Really?
I can't imagine it's going to stay there for long because they'll have to get rid of it when they start building the tunnel. But check it out. It's a piece of history.
It
right
should
there.
be heritage. It needs a plaque.
Did you notice if Bernard and Karen Brown were like handcuffed to it, like to save this tree?
Well, yeah, I mean,
On your way home, just have a check.
Okay, I'll give him some water. Bring him some water.
Yeah, maybe. Get a plate of nachos on the way. Someone says the Knowles ad still gets played. There we go. That might be the only one that's still a surviving business.
Oh, let's not endorse them then.
Oh, okay.
Let's find out. Plant liquidators. I don't know if they're still around.
No, they're not.
But
no.
David, you have this ad that you would like us to play. Maybe not in the best taste.
Yeah, so this guy it was a plant store, doesn't exist anymore. He was one of these people who the owner of the business, he would be in the ads himself. And this is a very strange idea for a sale. So the company next door to him had a fire and it burnt down, but his store was okay. So he does an ad where he's in the burnt out ruins of his neighbouring business. And he says, very luckily, the fire has spared plant liquidators, so to celebrate, we're having a sale. And then he appears with kind of like soot on his face.
Yeah, it's getting close to blackface.
Doing all these fire and heat-based puns. So see how many puns you can pick out in this ad.
Did you hear about the fire in Kent Town? Well, it was right next door. And to celebrate our survival, we're having a dirty great big plant sale this weekend. Jade, not $19.95, just $1.95. Huge cocos, not $69.95, $23.95. Mondo grass are scorching 6 for $20. Golden osma are piping hot, 4 for $10. Potted colour, these won't burn a hole in your pocket, just 6 for $10. 6-pack petunias are red hot, $8.95. Go for a burn down to Plant Liquidators, 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town. Out they go, 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town. And remember, don't smoke. Just don't smoke. Plant Liquidators, 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town.
How many do you were counting in your hands?
I counted 6 if you count the don't smoke thing at the end.
Why did he say that in an accent after that?
Oh, well, that's I can give you the provenance of that pop culture reference. So, Yul Brynner, you're familiar with Yul Brynner, the actor?
Yes.
Westworld,
yeah.
famously in
King and
The
I?
King and I. When he died in the 80s of lung cancer, he recorded an interview for 60 Minutes, which aired after he died, in which he said, don't smoke, just don't smoke.
Right.
So he's referencing this. That ad, Plant Liquidators, is from the year 2000. He's referencing something 15 years earlier.
I must say, that's very highbrow for a plant shop.
It's very high concept, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. I wonder what he's doing now. Is that plant shop still going, or?
Don't think so.
I went by Kent.
Were you just driving past all the places that had ads you remember?
On my way here, I did go there a couple of years ago because there was a cafe near there.
Yeah.
But I was like, is the plant still? I couldn't see anything, so I think it's long gone, burnt down probably.
Perhaps you could run a bus tour where you take people to old sites of ads from the past.
I probably could.
And then you can have the jingles playing as you're going past the business. And this is
that-
the former site of Bob Moran. Be great.
And here is the great big palm tree.
see it while you can, folks.
Just with 2 skeletons around it.
Oh, goodness.
Right, yes, there's probably a bit much. Levi in Forestville said, Adelaide Furniture and Electrical. Hey, Joe, how do you keep the prices so low? They're second hand. Well, you wouldn't know. Does anyone know where Adelaide Furniture and Electrical is?
Top of Port Road.
There we go.
There we go.
I think that one is still there.
Okay.
I like this one. This only closed recently, I think. Can we?
Yeah.
Parafield Discount City Furniture, a whole lot of bargains you should be there. Listen to the man and he'll tell you what's happening out on Main North Road.
Now, I'm not sure he's actually Cockney. I'm not sure. Rhoda. Main North Rhoda.
I found a couple as well. Here's one from pre-internet dating.
The time to stop agonising over partners lost or never found is now. Companions are out there, and the link to them and a happier, more complete life is as close as your phone. Make up your mind to make the call to Link Introductions in complete confidence and with the knowledge that Link is dedicated to helping you find that special someone. The number to call is 211 7255, 211 7255. Link Introductions, corner West Terrace and Weymouth Street, for people who need people.
For people who need people.
Is that what they did before? What's the app where you...
I wouldn't know. Yeah, never.
I wouldn't know. I actually can't remember whatever that
Tinder.
Tinder.
I actually met my wife on Tinder.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, really? That's fantastic.
Because you need people.
Yeah.
For people who need people. Yeah.
Right. Marty in Auburn says, "Hi, Chong. They used to put peanut shells on the floor in the raffles in Singapore, so tigers would not go into the bar. They still do. So maybe that's what Lone Star were doing."
Did they have a tiger problem in Marion?
Well,
notorious tiger problem.
I mean, the Glenelg football team, maybe? Okay. Is there one around there?
Yes.
You guys are banned, and you know that. Get out of here, Stephen Kernahan.
When was the last time they won a premiership? They got a bit of a problem. Yeah.
Right, these are fun. There's Toy World. People have said that's a good one.
Are they thinking of Toy Town?
Oh, Toy Town.
Toy Town.
You've got Toy Town?
I've actually got that. Have a listen.
Toy Town, Toy Town.
I love this one.
Toy Town, Toy Town, Toy Town, Toy Town, Toy Town. Toys at Tops at Toy Town.
The range of games and gifts is incredible.
Yeah, that's enough. Somebody's put a 5-hour version of that on YouTube. I don't know why, but it's there if you want to find it.
I mean, I guess if you're living in a crowded apartment complex and you're going on holidays, just loop that for a little bit. Any others, David, that you like? We have a preen TV commercial. Do you want to hear that?
Oh yeah. So this is one of the fun things about looking at old tapes is you often find things that haven't really aged very well. So I can't imagine they would make this ad and put it like this these days.
Wonderful.
Jones, what type do you call this then? Jones, your sales figures are very disappointing. Jones, where are those reports I asked you for? Jones, I think we should talk about your future.
At the end of the day, Mr. Jones' shirt is showing all the signs that it needs preen, because just one spray of preen by Mrs. Jones before the wash will remove all traces of Mr. Jones' boss. Preen. It removes all traces of
"Good morning, Mr. Jones"
every day.
So, reinforcing a sexist gender stereotype, workplace bullying.
Probably a couple of gender stereotypes there, I would say.
Yes, and I don't even understand what is going on at the end there. Who is that voice? Good morning.
It removes all traces of
"Good morning, Mr. Jones"
every day.
Is that Mrs. Jones referring to her husband as Mr. Jones? Was that the formality that husbands and wives talk to each other back then? Was he sleeping in his work shirt? I don't understand.
I feel like I heard office noises behind it, so I think that is a secretary of some kind.
Sounded that
yes, and I think there's some shenanigans, some Mad Men action going on.
But if the preen removes all traces of that, and Mrs. Jones is the one cleaning it, isn't she going to see it, smell it? I don't know.
Look, it was simpler times, and sometimes bosses use Chanel number 5 at work.
Is that what you used to use in the hospital to do the sheets?
Bit of preen.
Preen. I didn't wash them. I just ironed them.
Okay. That was outside of your job description.
Yeah, that's the better end of the stick, isn't it? So, David, you're in town. You don't live here anymore, but you're in town just for anything in particular?
It's my 20th high school reunion tomorrow.
Ooh.
Came back for that. And to be on your show, of course.
Yeah. And they just arranged the 20-year anniversary around that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yes. Yes. The last 10 years went a lot quicker than the previous 10 years before that.
Yeah. I had my 20 and 25 around, like either side of COVID. I don't know why they bothered with a 25, but also we'd all been inside for a year. So there was like no one was different in those 5 years. It was weird. But the 20th was fun. I did enjoy my 20th. Did you go to your 20th? Scott?
No, I almost did. And then I went at the last minute, nah.
No. Regret?
Nah, I'm fine with it.
All right.
But some of them are quite successful. I stay in contact with one person from school who now lives in Finland. And he comes over every 10 years. And we have a beer every 10 years when he comes back from Finland. And that's pretty good. happy with that. Low expectation friendship.
Good. Frosty in Paraka says, it's the secretary, you dummies.
But it still doesn't make sense.
Yes. Yeah, even knowing that, Frosty, we don't know what's going on here. Les says the downtown ads were pretty good as well.
Yeah.
This person says Pedro's Pizza and Fast Eddie's open 24 hours a day.
Anytime Fast Eddie.
There we go. Frosty
Anytime, go anytime. I'm not sure when it was open, but they were the words.
Well, the Pancake Kitchen was open at 24/7.
Yes.
Great. Jason Kingswood says, I'm not going to use the catchphrase, but Crazy Horse, what an ad.
Oh, yes.
You know it well?
Sometimes I get people sending me messages saying, have you got this ad, you got that ad? Yeah, that Crazy Horse one often gets... hey, it is on YouTube. Just look it up yourself.
In your own time.
It's there.
Here's one I found that I haven't thought about in ages.
I'm going to put that hard-boiled egg into this milk bottle.
What was this for?
Looks impossible.
Cadbury.
Water paper. I light it.
And Dr. Julius Sumner. Professor
Miller.
Sumner Miller.
Yeah.
Apparently, he came into my dad's restaurant one day, and one of the waiters was like super excited and got him to sign something, and he was really rude.
And then he ruined the egg.
Yes,
he stole all your eggs.
Yeah, no more eggs, and no more milk bottles either.
Yeah.
Anyway, he just does that, and then it says how good a glass and a half of milk is for your health.
Yeah.
Which I very much enjoy.
And Daryl Summers did an amazing impression of
Did he?
Julius Sumner Miller. Yes, that was one of his 4 impressions that he would do every week.
And then Mark Mitchell did an impression of Daryl Summers doing an impression of Julius Sumner Miller on the Comedy Company.
There you go.
David, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a pleasure too. We've known each other, or of each other, for many years, and this is the first time we've actually touched flesh.
Yeah.
With a handshake, I should.
Well, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Excellent.
Good to be back.
And people can see VHS Revue on YouTube. Is that the best way to go? If they just type that in?
Yeah, VHS Revue, and it's REVUE. So it's that kind of review.
Oh, very nice.
And we're on all the other social media channels as well. Just pick your favourite one, and I'll be there.
Excellent. Scotty, just on the painkillers at the moment?
On the painkillers.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to next week finding out if they're going to cut you open or not.
Ooh. Suspense.
Text through what you think. 04679 22891. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
What a pleasure.
Cheers.